Let me know when I have to begin.
Yes, yes, definitely. We are just waiting for the live streaming to start.
Okay.
Namaskar. I welcome all of you to this webinar by All India Women's Conference, Trivandrum branch. We are continuing our series, Achievers and Trailblazers, Women Taking Untrodden Career Paths. We had two sessions earlier. One was by a retired Air Force officer and Sushmita Sahe. Second was by Navya Haridas, a politician who has very just recently won the local elections. She's a third-time councillor of Kozhikode Municipal Corporation. And now today we are having the third session, and this is in the context of the Navy Day. Navy Day was this time celebrated in Trivandrum, and there was a very grand show, and we all enjoyed that grand show. And because the Navy Day falls in December, we decided to have a naval officer as our guest today, and we are lucky to have Lieutenant Commander Seema Rani Sharma. She was with Indian Navy for 12 years, and now she is with the corporate sector. I'll introduce her in more detail later. And today is a very happy occasion for AIWC and personally for me. A very good friend has just completed her tenure as president of AIWC, and she is, I will not say stepping down, she is stepping out. In AIWC, we don't step up or down. We are all at the same level. Only we take different roles at different times, all voluntary workers. It is like, going on a long car trip. A driver drives for about 3 or 4 hours, and then she steps out and another driver takes a seat. So now my good friend Kalyani Raj is coming to the end of her tenure. And another very good friend, Kuljit Kaur, she has just been elected. She is the president designate, president elect of AIWC. She will take over in another couple of months. So we are here to also welcome Kuljit Kaur and felicitate her. So today we'll have a slightly different format. Usually we go straight to the guest lecture. Today, first, I'll request Kalyani to give her presidential remarks. Then I'll request Kuljit Kaur to give a very brief opening remarks. Then we'll go to the our esteemed guest. After her speech, we'll have interactions as usual. You can ask questions, you can give your comments. And after that, we'll have an extended session where all AWC members can discuss AWC matters, welcome Kuljit, congratulate her, and we'll celebrate her election as president of AWC. So now I request Mrs. Kalyani Raj, president of AWC, to please give the presidential remarks. Over to you, Kalyani.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Usha. So very good afternoon to all of you and namaskar. Thank you so much, Trivandrum Branch, Usha, Jamila ji, and your team for hosting this webinar and for inviting me to be part of this very meaningful and enriching program. And at the very outset, I think I would like to place on record my deep appreciation for the dedicated effort of Trivandrum Branch Cultural Wing for consistently curating and continuing this excellent webinar series. Actually, the choice of theme, diverse, contemporary, and highly relevant, along with the thoughtful selection of speakers who brought with them immense experience, expertise, and exceptional communication skill. All this really truly deserves commendation. And this ongoing Achievers and Trailblazers series has been particularly very inspiring. I attended a couple of them, and they've been very engaging and inspiring. Each session actually has sparked curiosity and anticipation. And I think many of us keenly look forward to every new interaction. And the presentation, deliberations we have heard so far, especially those featuring women who have ventured into sort of unconventional and less traveled career paths, have been very truly eye-opening. And they have highlighted, like, the challenges and realities faced by women, as always, in different fields, insights that I think many of us may not have fully recognized or appreciated earlier, but after listening to all these women, it was really inspiring. And these sessions also, actually equally important, was that they have broadened our perspectives by when they showcased women who are successfully sort of breaking barriers. But because during our work in AIWC, we always talk about women need to break barriers and come out of the stereotype roles and all that. So all these sessions have been very relevant, and they been, like, making their mark in the traditional male-dominated fields. So all these have been very inspiring, and I'm sure they have been very inspiring for the coming generation and for the new members as well. So I would really like to congratulate the Jamila ji, Usha, and the entire Trivandrum branch for conceptualizing and executing such a thoughtful and impactful initiative. And your teamwork is really superb and very good. About just for the benefit of our guests today, All India Women's Conference, as Usha said, that I'm coming to the end of my tenure as president. And while I thank each one of you for all the support, love, encouragement given to me during my this 3-year tenure, I would just like to say a few things about AIWC for the benefit of our guests today. All India Women's Conference, this is a national level NGO, and we are soon going to celebrate our centenary in 2 years. And so this 98 years journey has been quite impactful to the society, encouraging to all of us. I have been associated with the organization now for nearly 28 years now, and I've learned so much in my life after my career in the corporate sector. There is so much I could learn about the social sector here through the AIWC and the legacy left. And we have presence in almost all states within India with a network of roughly 400 and odd branches. And Trivandrum branch, which is holding this webinar, is one of very active branch with our very senior members there. Usha's mother has been our one of the pioneer members of AIWC. So, I mean, you will come to know more about AIWC, I'm sure, during our interaction. And so on behalf of headquarters, All India Women's Conference, it gives me immense pleasure to extend Lieutenant Commander Seema ji a very warm welcome to you, and thanks to you for graciously sparing your valuable time to join us today. We are very eagerly looking forward to hearing about your remarkable journey and experience in the Indian Navy, which we are certain will be both enlightening for all of us. Because in fact, truly, I think many of us won't even have remembered that Navy Day we celebrate, and the women, the women Navy officers. I think so. Your selection in this month has been very, very apt, and we are really looking forward to listening to you. Thank you, Usha. Thank you, Seema ji.
Thank you, Kalyani. Now I would request Mrs. Kuljeet Kaur to just give a few short opening remarks before we go on to the guest speech. Kuljeet, over to you.
Yes, thank you so much, Usha. Thanks a lot. Nice seeing you on the screen. First of all, I would like to convey my thanks to all the members of AIWC, those who have supported me, and those who thought that I was fit to take the responsibility of this prestigious organization. As Kalyani has also said, a few words about AIWC. I would like to tell that AIWC have been working for the women's education and empowerment. And today's topic is very relevant for that women taking untrodden career paths and achievers and trailers. This is going to be a good lesson for all of us. And whatever our aim is, the theme of AIWC, it is very relevant to that only. Women, though the times have changed, now the times have become very demanding, the challenges have changed, and AIWC is working in that field where the women can feel safe at the workplace also. Trivandrum the branch, I'm very grateful to you. For the last so many years, I've been almost attending all your programs. And you have taken us and shown us the different views of this world. After G20, it was very relevant that you discussed about the different countries, their culture, their civilization, and through you, we have traveled the different countries also. After that also, the most important thing which I saw in this was that you discussed the impact of Britishers on the culture of India. And especially when we touched the dance community of Lucknow and how that had become irrelevant. So like that, all the topics were very much informative. I have really learned a lot through that, Usha, and I would like to convey my thanks to you also and to all the members. Those are very active, and especially your MC, the one who gives the starting remark, introduction remark. Every time I attend, almost every program I have attended, I have prepared notes for that. It was so effective and so relevant, so interesting. From very beginning to end, we used to remain involved in that. And the topics are very relevant for today's time also. Today also, when we are celebrating this Navy Day, and you have invited Seema ji to talk to us, to give us the information, I'm really thankful to you. And whatever she says, whatever she's going to discuss with us, that is going to be more relevant, very interesting, and very benefiting for AIWC also. So thank you so much for inviting me. I'll be there in future also participating, learning from your such interesting and relevant topics. Thanks a lot, Pooja.
Thank you, Kuljit. Now we will go on to our formal session. We have been having this series. We started this series, as I mentioned earlier, 2 months back. This is the third lecture in this series. And I'll just quote one line from India Today. In the latest issue of India Today, they say, Gen Z is no longer chasing professional goals blindly. They are working with intention, choosing roles that align with their personal values, mental well-being, and long-term financial stability. So in this context, we thought that we should give our young women exposure to the different career options that are available to them. And some of them are very unusual, that there may be many girls who want to take different career paths, but they do not have the knowledge about these different careers. That is why we started this new series, and we hope to showcase some of the trailblazers, as we have titled it, and achievers from these fields. The Air Force officer who had joined us, Sushmita Sahe, she was one of the earliest women to join the Indian Air Force. And similarly, Lieutenant Commander Seema Rani Sharma, she is one of the earlier batch of women, though I think women have been there in Indian Navy for more than 20 years now. Though they have been there for 20 years, we know very little about their what type of a career it is, what is the life like in there, and what are the challenges, what are the opportunities. That is why we have invited Seema Rani Sharma today to tell us about life in the Navy, what were her experiences and what were her challenges, and if any young woman wants to take up this career, what sort of preparations she can do, or what type of mental strength she has to build up. So we look forward to this very interesting talk by Lieutenant Commander Seema Rani Sharma. I'll just give a short introduction. She had sent me a very short bio note, I think very modest bio note, but I'll just tell you a very short introduction about Seema. Lieutenant Commander Seema Rani Sharma has 17 plus years of experience, out of which 12 years she has worked with the Indian Navy. She joined in 2008 and continued in the Indian Navy for 12 years, and she was the first woman naval aviation aviator, naval aviator in combat role, which means though she was in the Navy, she was flying aircraft. And she has participated in many high-profile missions, multinational exercises. She has been part of the Dornier 228 and Boeing P-81 aircrafts of the naval aviation. So she is a seasoned flyer, I would say, and she worked with the Indian Navy as lieutenant commander, and later on she joined the corporate sector. She was with the UST Product Engineering for 3 years as executive program manager, and now she has moved on to Bajaj Finance Ltd at Pune. Now she is based in Pune, and by a happy coincidence, Seema, I would like to tell you that AIWC had its origins in Pune in 1927. So we are very emotionally, we are all very closely connected to the city of Pune. And now that you are based there, we are happy that we are welcoming. It is almost like we are welcoming one of our own. With the varied experience she believes in working alongside her team, keeping the organization's goals in mind. And I'm sure her training as a naval officer is helping her a lot in fulfilling this role to the fullest and in the best possible way. She has 2 children, and in her free time, she loves spending time with her family, watching movies, swimming, going for long drives. And she loves to spend quality time with the family, which is what what I have just read out. They want the young, the Gen Z. They want balance in life. They want to balance their personal lives and official lives. So let us now listen to Seema Rani Sharma, Lieutenant Commander Seema Rani Sharma, about her career in the Indian Navy. Very warm welcome, Seema, to AIWC. You have already heard a little about AIWC, and we have very prominent presence in Pune. And I can put you in touch with our branches in Pune, and we hope that you will remain associated with us. So now, Seema, please start your talk. Over to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Usha ji. Very good luck to Kuljeet ji for her stint, and heartiest congratulations to Kalyani ji. I'm sure she's done wonderful being here for whatever time she was here as a president. Wishing all of you a very good luck. And thank you so much for inviting me today. It's an immense pleasure to be connected to your organization, and definitely after the program I was going to connect with you and understand how can I continue remain connected with the organization, because this really sounds very good. I had never been connected with such organization previously, but I've got this opportunity today. I would not miss it out in just by one guest speak, but I would really would like to contribute much more in the longer run. Yeah, to start with, I think I'll probably tell you where I come from and how I got probably attracted to the Navy. So my father also is retired from the Navy itself. He is a retired honorary sub-lieutenant from the Navy. I have stayed all throughout my life in the South India. Was born in Cochin, did some basic studies in Mumbai, followed by some in Visakhapatnam, again back to Cochin. That is when my father had retired and we moved back to Uttar Pradesh, where we hail from. But I always had this liking towards the white uniform that I had seen since the childhood. So I somehow wanted to remain connected, and life really gave me a chance to remain connected when my father picked up a job in Mumbai, and during my college, I moved to Mumbai. So I've done my college from Mumbai, KC College, Churchgate, and that was probably the best thing that happened in my life. And during those college days, I had also joined an NCC unit. So there's an open one Maharashtra naval unit wherein students from any colleges come and join that unit. It used to be for 3 years at that time, but now it is only for 2 years stint, wherein every Sunday you go for those classes in NCC. You would have seen in your respective colleges for Air Force or Army cadres. However, in Navy also something similarly happens. We go for certain camps, the national camps, for RD parade or the Nausenic camps, Vayusenic camps, and the summer camps that happen once in a year. So that's how you remain connected. You keep learning about the Navy. And this was probably, actually, this was the second platform that made me well connected with the Navy. Before this, in my school days, when I was in 8 to 10 standard, my father was posted in Cochin. So there's one more organization which is called the Sea Cadet Corps. They also make kids learn a lot of things about the Navy. Their entire curriculum is about the Navy. They're actually driven by the naval senior management. And here in Mumbai also, I know there are units in Kolaba who run this Sea Cadet Corps. So that was the first time wherein I used to visit ships. I've learned my boat sailing skills from there. My initial skills of firing rifles and guns had started from then, which continued in college through NCC as well, right? And yes, how this post happened of the Navy was when I graduated out of college. The first form that I saw in the employment newspaper, we used to go to college. On Saturdays, the edition of the employment newspaper comes weekly fresh. I used to buy that employment newspaper. And the first opportunity that I saw was this. I just filled up the form and sent it through the post. After that, I had spoken to my father about it. He always knew I wanted to go, but which form I have filled, even he didn't know about it. He had given me the complete freedom to do whatever I wanted to. So that's why the interference from his side was never there. He was always supportive. So as everybody says, behind every successful man, there's a woman. Probably behind every successful girl, there's a father or a mother, a parent who's supporting them definitely. So when I spoke to him about that, this is the post that I have filled form for, he mentioned. So he had also seen the aviators in the Navy, but during his tenure, there were no female officers. So as Ushaji mentioned, women officers have been uh, getting onboarded into the Navy from the past 20-25 years now. But they were only in the support branches. Support branches, if I tell you, would be the medical cadre. There were doctors who were coming in directly after doing the MBBS, or they would join the AFMC in Pune and then join the armed forces, and they would come into Navy as well from there. There were logistics cadre, we can say the supply chain management department that's there of the Navy. So women were there. There's a air traffic control, so the controller who controls the aircraft, it's like a giving directions, maintaining safety within the aircraft. Those roles were also occupied by the women. However, the form that I had filled was for the women aviator. So what my job was, I did not fly the aircraft, but I used to be in the aircraft, and the mission was my baby. I had to manage the entire mission. I had the controls of the radars, the sonars, the missile systems on board, the all the sensors that are there on board the aircraft. So whatever a military aircraft is supposed to do, the pilot would definitely fly, take off, and land. But between that, whatever mission is happening, whether it be looking for a submarine which is in the ocean, it could be a sunken boat or a lost boat, it could be a ship, a warship that's passing by. So in the huge ocean, searching for those and giving inputs to the headquarters, managing that mission is now also a mission controller's responsibility. So I was a mission controller on board those aircrafts. And my father mentioned, he remembered faintly that there used to be a passing out of those batch that used to happen every year, and not more than 5 to 6 people would pass out. So I was really doubtful whether in the entire country, whether I would be one amongst those 5 to 6 people passing out or not. But still, I gave my best shot. Uh, did my SSB interview, cleared it, the medicals, followed by the basic training. So it was actually in the basic training when it hit us first time that what have we joined. So what had happened was, since we were the first batch of women in the executive, it's called the executive branch wherein the officers who command the ships, who fly the aircrafts, uh, or who become the mission controllers. This is called the executive cadre of the Indian Navy. And women were not part of this cadre. This was the first time we were joining in. And when we entered the academy, we realized in the entire academy, which was the Goa Naval Academy at that time, but right now the academy has moved to Ezimala in Kerala. However, that time the executive branch academy was still in Goa. So I was the second last batch who had passed out before that academy shut down and completely moved to Ezimala. In the entire academy of 350 cadets, we were only two female cadets present there. And before that, we had not realized. So there are a lot of SSB centers, the selection centers that are there across the country in Bhopal, Kolkata, Trivandrum, Mysore, Bangalore. There are a lot of them, and we wouldn't know about if anybody is getting selected from the other branches. Only in the training you get to know who all have got selected, right? So when we reached the academy, me and my colleague, Lieutenant Ambika Hooda, we both realized we are the only two people selected in this batch. And in this academy, as cadets, as under trainees, we are only two female cadets here. That definitely was the first blow of our life that we had got. Oh, where do we go to if we probably are stuck or we find something that's really unsolvable? However, uh, I don't know how many of you have seen that movie that had come regarding an Air Force pilot, wherein Janvi Kapoor had played a role of a Air Force helicopter pilot. I remember, and it was really shown that she had so much trouble in settling into the men's world. But I would really like to put it on record, with us, this never happened. I mean, the men and the boys were so much careful, and they were so thoughtful, not careful, they were so thoughtful about it, that these girls are coming into our territory and they should not get offended for something stupid that is being done here. They were really very, they had the total empathy, you would say. They were so empathetic towards us that there was no preferential treatment that we got. We used to do our swimming classes with them. We used to do our academic trainings with them. We used to do the morning PT routine also with them itself. And it was so mesmerizing to see that when we would run cross countries, there were few boys who were left behind also. So we felt that okay, we used to think that we might be the last one, nobody would say anything, but we were actually not the last ones. We would still leave few people behind us also, and that was really amazing feeling. But yes, the academy time was tough because in the entire block where the female officers stay, I think it was of 25 rooms, and only two of us had occupied that entire block. So there were minor hiccups, you would say, which we faced, but the training was so smooth, so tough, and so apt that we probably passed out of the academy with flying colors. And the first place that you go after your basic training is your specialization training, and that's when we went to Cochin. Cochin is the training base for all the pilots as well as the mission controllers that I had joined in. We have a specialized schools there. You go to different specialization schools to your courses there. That's when our flying training happened, and we passed out of the flying. It's called the Observers School in Cochin, INS Garuda. It's there inside the naval base itself, and we had passed out from there in December 2009, post our basic as well as the flying training. And that is when we got our first official posting, that we call it. And I got posted to INS Hansa, the Dornier 228 aircraft. It's called the Indian Naval Air Squadron 310. It is the most decorated air squadron of the Indian Navy. They've participated in the past in liberation of Goa and liberation of Bangladesh. So that squadron has a very, you can say that so much meritorious past that we ourselves were so proud that we are joining this squadron. And when we joined this squadron, the crew there itself, they were so well prepared. Till then, there was no female officer who had entered their territory, but they were so warm. They had set up a separate room for us wherein we could be at ease. They changed their way of working in the aircraft, their way of talking, and the learning that we had there in the squadron. Our instructors who were there, with no preferential treatments, just going the way everybody is going. You would get 2 hours to pack up your bags, and you are going for a detachment for 20-30 days to a destination which is maybe in India or maybe abroad. They never thought that, okay, these are girls, they probably might not be able to turn around so quickly. They also gave us everything in equality to all the other male officers who were there, and we also proved them right in all those occasions. We are still connected with them. They keep giving our examples to all the people who've joined in after us, so that they can show that these are the people whom they had trained first, and that is how everybody should be. Post 3.5 years of stint in Goa, the Dornier 228 squadron, then probably I got selected for induction of a brand new aircraft from US, the Boeing P-8Is. So Indian Navy had bought these aircrafts in 2013 from the US Boeing company, and we were the induction batch. We went to the US for initial days for made basic training from Boeing itself, and then we got those aircrafts to India, and that is when we got posted to another strategic base, which is INAS 312, Indian Naval Air Squadron 312. This is in Arakonam. This place is about 100 kilometers from Chennai, and pretty close to Kanchipuram, if anybody knows. So yeah, so next 7.5 years of my career was spent there in Arakonam. Beautiful place, slightly secluded from the city life, but I think that's how the life in Navy is. It's a way of life in itself, so you do not miss out of anything that's happening around, but it is self-sufficient in itself. That was the place wherein I had got married. My husband was in the corporate and he was based out of Mumbai. Uh, my son was, I was blessed with a son when I was posted there. And till then, it was amazing. Only after you have kids, you also get to know that you have a huge support system when you're not around, right? So I still remember the day when my son's second birthday was celebrated. We'd come back and we'd not even opened the gifts, and I got a call from my unit that just pack up your bags and you have to go for a mission to Mauritius. Uh, and I went so abruptly. He was so small, he got sick, but the support that I got from my unit officers back home was tremendous. My parents, who already stayed, always stayed with me since my son was born. My in-laws had stayed with me. They never felt that I'm not around. If I'm gone for a mission or a outstation detachments, so my aircraft itself used to fly for 10 to 12 hours at one stretch. You would go 1 hour before, for 1 or 2 hours before, to the mission briefing and planning the missions and everything. After you land back, you do some analysis, and again after post landing you would take another 1.5 hour to return back. So it was a total gap of 15 hours at a stretch when you're out from your house. But the support that the service officers and the other men and women who stay around and work around with you, they provide to your family, is huge. So as I said, it never felt that I'm not around. They were also comfortable, taken care of. And if people think that okay, if you're a woman, you have to take care of the house, and then how will you go out for so long? But mind you, this is an organization, the entire armed forces for that matter, not only Navy, Air Force and Army also. If it is a whichever station it be it a family station, or if you're the officer of the house, be it the men or the women, if they're posted into a forward base where family is not there, but back wherever the family is, they are really taken good care of. they really believe in things like if your house is taken care, you can completely focus on your work and the missions that you have in hand, right? So that support has always been there for me. And I really want to tell everybody that you must believe in them and try these areas, because see, these arenas that are available, the amount of fulfillment or accomplishment that you get is uncomparable. I retired after 12 years of service. I still miss the work that I did. Maybe my family life that is there, the work life balance has slightly improved because I get to see my kids now. I have two kids. I get to see my kids by end of the day. But the fulfillment that you get, the accomplishment that you get after completing any task, that is uncomparable. And nobody learns it from their mother's womb. They come out and learn. So everything that anyone does here is learnable. You just need to have the right mindset. Okay, and there are people who will really train you well. If you have that feeling of learning anything and achieving anything, you definitely are a right choice to join the services as well. Right. So, yeah, that's about it. My journey, how I landed up from school to college to join the services. So, post your service tenure completes, we also get a very good opportunity to get some pre-release courses that the government offers you basis how your performance has been throughout your career. So, I was really fortunate enough to get my pre-release course in IIM Indore. That's when I had done an in-campus 6 months business development course from IIM Indore, and I bagged my first job in the campus interview selections itself. And that is when I landed up in Pune. I had never seen Pune before, not been connected with anybody who was in Pune. But my first job brought me to Pune, and I really love this place now. Uh, Currently working with Bajaj as in the capacity of senior lead human resources. This opportunity also has been very demanding. Uh, Definitely, the training that I have got back in the academy and my naval days has contributed a lot to the confidence, to the way I think, to the way I take decisions, the way I drive different things. It definitely is coming back from where I had started. So that is never lost behind. What I have done always is carried forward and is helpful to me. So Ushaji, I'll be really happy in case you ask anything special, any specific question, I'll be happy to take that on. I think that's about my journey that I have been through. You're on mute, Ushaji.
Thank you, Seema. It was very interesting. And as Kuljeet mentioned earlier, we don't know much about careers in the Navy. And now that you have told us in such detail, it seems really interesting. And I'm sure that most of my colleagues here who are about my age would be wishing that we were about 50 years or 60 years younger so that we could have also joined the Navy or the Air Force and had such challenging careers.
Definitely, I would like to add on here. I'd like to add on here. So when I had retired, it used to be a short service commission for my cadre as well. However, post my retirement, about 1 or 2 years later, now even this branch has become a permanent commission with. So uh, all the female officers who are in my branch and are taking up the permanent commission, they would also be going forward taking up commands of the unit. Like I'm sure you would know Commander Prerna. She was my junior in the college and the NCC, a junior in Navy as well. I retired before her. So post my retirement, when she was offered, I think the government gave a diktat that women officers should also be given permanent commission. A decision had come that way, wherein Navy offered permanent commission in the all the branches possible. She's taken a permanent commission. She's commanded a ship as well in Goa in the past, and not even in the officers cadre. So till now, in the sailors cadre, which are the lower ranks in the Navy, there were no female who were there. But now everybody, all of us know the Agniveers have started joining the armed forces, and in Agniveers, even females are joining, and they are performing really wonderfully. Right, that is also a very good opportunity that's available for somebody who's not done really higher studies, wherein you can go even after your 12th standard to become an officer. Definitely, you can join the NDA. NDA was not open to female previously, but now even NDA takes in females. So you can become an officer by joining NDA, or maybe you do a BTech degree outside, then you join into so many different branches that are available. So now it can, for the people who were of my age and generation, probably it was short service commission where we had to take a retirement and start afresh somewhere outside. However, now if you are committed, and if you can commit so much of time and everything, if it works well for you, you can even continue till 60 years of service and rise to higher ranks.
That's very interesting, and I'm sure many young girls who are watching this would definitely want to join. And actually, though we are having this series on different careers open to women, it is not actually I won't say that it is a career counseling venture. We are just giving information about the different careers, and if the young people who listen to us are interested, they can go and find out more details. And although, of course, you have also explained in detail how one can join the Navy. So I hope many girls get enthused by your experiences and opt to join the Indian Navy. So now we'll have an open session, and I request Bhuneshwari to moderate the session, please. Bhuneshwari.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I'll
we
do
can
that.
have interactions
Yeah.
about this session, and after the interactions, then we'll move on to the extended session for AIWC members.
Okay.
Can I, Bhuneshwari?
Yeah, sure, please.
Yeah, it's very interesting section, Miss Seema. I really enjoyed your presentation. It's wonderful to know that so many opportunities are open to women, to girls. Unfortunately, as Usha said, our children do not know that these opportunities are around the corner, and they need to be exposed to an understanding of what it is to be an officer within one of the forces. I was wondering while you were talking, you said students join the NCC cadre, and they get a kind of initial interaction with the cadet corps and all that. But do you think that in order to spread the word, it would be a good idea if through the NCC you could volunteer to actually talk to our young NCC students and make them aware of the opportunities? Another thing that I felt while you were talking was, most often, even I had that feeling before the last talk that we had, that once you join the force, you are in it for a pretty long time, and therefore family and work balance can never be achieved, and that it is a man's world, and women won't find a place there. I think people like you, if you can actually spread the word among students. I don't know how we can do it, but I think Usha can think about something where we can really get together the NCC girls, maybe in a women's college, and then let them know that these opportunities are open. And I was also surprised, to know that from the last speaker also we got this information that once you are in the force, then there are opportunities to before you go out of the ranks, you have an opportunity to learn in
Yes.
prestigious institutions. That was really an eye opener for me, because I think children don't know about that there is something that is good at the end of it. After the rich experience that you have, you continue to do something very constructive and become a responsible social individual. think so. Congratulations, Seema. It was wonderful listening to you. And maybe Usha can think of something, and even you can make
Yes. So
suggestions
for
how.
the first part,
how
to interact with the NCC cadets, I've done this in the past. So since I'm myself an alumni of the One Maharashtra Naval Unit in Mumbai, through that only there are some NCC NOs or professors who've been in connect with me, and I remember, I think about during the COVID years, I have done few sessions with there's a Birla College in Kalyan. So NCC students from there, I've done sessions for them. I've also spoken to uh, during a 15th August flag hoisting ceremony in Pune, where I was invited in Nanded city in one of the schools. So I've spoken to students about it.
yeah.
Definitely. Wherever NCC students are there, their commanding officers would definitely be a serving officer. So whatever are the current running opportunities, so they're the best ones to tell them. However, if you feel like motivating them by showcasing what I have gone through and my
Yeah.
experience, I'll be happy to join and spread the word along with you.
Yeah. Thank you.
And
That's really helpful for you.
regarding the learning part in the Navy, so it's not only during retirement that we get this course. There are different courses that keep happening throughout when you're there in the services also, right? So there are people who become instructors. So I know a lot of people who've gone out of the aviation and now they've joined the aviation schools outside as instructors, navigation schools. So all these flying schools do take them at least the technicality of flying, learning those instruments that are there is common for pilots as well as the mission controllers that we are. So a lot of people go into that career as well. There are a lot of people who join the aviation industry because we've seen, so in armed forces it does not happen that you keep doing your primary duty. We do have a primary as well as secondary duties. If my primary duty is flying and doing missions, secondary duties are becoming officer of the day, taking care of the admin duties. Once in 2 weeks my duty will come. There would be days wherein I am responsible for movement of all the aircrafts on ground, parking to flying bay to refueling them to if any defect is going on, staying there with the men. So managing the operations also is a part of it that you do. So there are a lot of people who go out and join the ground operations of the aviation industry. That's what happens where I come from. However, the other branches, like if you talk about the supply chains branch, the logistics that I spoke about, they have so many opportunities in the corporate world to join all these supply chain companies. I have so many people from the army who's joined the at senior levels in the administrative departments of companies. In fact, where I am, we have a lot of Bajaj Group companies and so many army officers or air force officers are there at senior levels on the administrative post, because in the armed forces you end up doing everything inside out. You get exposure to so many things that you are becoming really learned person to go out and really showcase your skills in the corporate world.
Just one more question. Like, what discipline for their graduation would you recommend would be good for them to take these examinations? Like for their
See, you
graduation,
really,
BA or BSc,
yeah.
what
Indian
discipline?
Navy, no, so Indian Navy, if you see, Indian Navy takes only BTech entries now in the officer cadre. However, in the Army and the Air Force, the other disciplines also I think are taken, but it will be best if you go to the website of the respective forces and check. But for the Navy, I know they take up only the BTech graduates
So your
because in
background is a
NDA,
BTech? Your
no,
background?
I was a BSc. No, I was a BSc Computer Science then.
Okay.
That time, even commerce graduates, or I spoke about Prerna. She's an arts graduate. So that time it was open, but Navy has changed its policy. So whoever joins the NDA or the Naval Academy after 12th, they also undergo the BTech degree. So that's why Navy has done basic entry itself, BTech entry. However, in the other armed forces, there would be few branches like the supply chain cadre that I'm saying. There may be there. I'm not fully confident on commenting. That keeps changing from time to time. So we must look at their websites that what skills and what education qualification they're looking at.
Thank you.
I think for the +2 entry, anybody who has done with maths can enter NDA in the naval side, isn't it?
+2 entry, yes. And after you get
But
into
mathematics
NDA,
is compulsory.
yes, yes. Science stream is there. That's for
Science.
NDA. There would be some branches, I'm sure, which would take non-NDA also. You can probably go through. This is in the officer cadre. And in non-officer cadre, the other ranks which are there also people would go in there. Science and maths may not be compulsory. So they can explore that way also.
Thank you.
I think Kuljit ji has unmuted. So would you like
Yes.
to say something, Kuljit
Yeah,
ji?
first, I
Yeah.
would like to talk about Jamila ji. Is she unwell?
Huh?
Jamila ji, is she unwell?
No, no, I am fine, Gurjitji. Congratulations to you. Only thing, I
Thank you.
had a very
Thank
tiring
you.
day today. I had
Oh,
some
I'm missing you.
appointments.
Last time also you were not there.
Yeah.
And we are coming back to Seema ji. Seema ji, very interesting and very informative. You have given that. But the main thing is that the more heartening thing is that you felt very safe over there, and both the female and the male officers, they are treated equally. Equality is there. So outside this defense services, I think the women are facing these challenges. They are more vulnerable, and there is no equality amongst the men and the women. So that's why it becomes very difficult for women to adjust themselves efficiently or work with confidence in other areas, because all of us, we are aware that how the women are being harassed in the ministries, also in the organization, in the corporate offices. But I'm so glad to hear that you felt so safe over there. They were so considerate, and you are treated equally over there. Very nice to hear that.
But even
Thank you
not
so
only
much.
safe, we actually felt empowered. At
Very
every
nice.
stage, we felt empowered because they gave equal opportunities and we got the opportunity to prove ourselves. That
Yeah.
was the first thing. If nobody gives you opportunity, you'll not be able to prove yourself. But that was always presented to us and we also proved. So it was always an empowerment for us.
That is a very good news. I'm so glad to hear that. Because at other places, the women, they feel so unsafe. In certain organizations, the women, even they don't have the facility of washrooms also. So what to talk of other things? And equality, that word is missing from their dictionary. But it's so good, so heartening to hear that you didn't face any such problem when you joined it, though you were only female over there, two women over there. But still, the men, they were so decent, so nice. I'm so glad to hear that still we have men like that existing in our society. Thanks
Yes.
a lot.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I cannot see anybody who is unmuted. I have one question.
Comments?
I have one small question. Actually, did I hear that you have done production engineering? Did I
No, I
thought
was
I had
part of UST product engineering. This is an IT
product
product
engineering.
company.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So I had
okay.
joined there as an executive program manager and
Uh,
managed different programs with the CEO as well as certain key roles in the human resources department also.
why I was asking that is that today it was a coincidence that we were distributing the scholarship checks to four girls here for doing professional course. One of the girls, she is doing first year MTech and in a government engineering college. She is a rank holder. But when we spoke to her, she is doing production engineering first year in under mechanical engineering, and then she was saying she doesn't she has no plans, she doesn't know what to do after her post graduation postgraduate degree. She was saying, I'm not sure, I got a job after PTech, but I did not join, and I joined for this because I did not know whether I will be able to do the work, whether I'll be able to work in an office. Or she's very good in studies. So career counseling is very important, and being a government colleges, it's not there, not much there. So we all felt very bad about that, and her parents are also not educated. They are in the lower strata of people. That's why we are giving them That's why when I heard the production engineering, it struck me this girl is also doing that. And of course, we are trying to help her out. Of course, this employment news thing and all that we will tell. But we will try to find a way of helping her and advising her. There may be many like that, in government
Yes.
colleges and all that. So that's what I wanted to ask you. So,
You can go
and
to the comments, Bhuvneshwari. There are some comments, I think. You can see that.
no one else is muted, unmuted. Comments I can go to. It is Indrani Sengupta ji says, congratulations. We feel privileged that we had the opportunity to meet and hear the experiences of a great achiever. Thank you. Then I don't know the name, TGIT is written. Very nice to hear her journey. I have to, they have to leave for some urgent work. That's it. Sheila ji is here. Sheila ji, you can unmute and talk also. Thank you, Seema ji, for sharing your journey. It was very informative and definitely we can give some guidance to those who are interested in joining Navy. Thank you so much. Sheila ji, you would like to say something?
My throat is very bad, that's why I switched off
Okay,
that camera also and I muted.
okay.
I was coughing all the way.
Okay. Then Dr. Vasanti Ramesh would like to hear from you any challenging incident you have encountered. Anything on that, Seema ji?
Challenging
That's it.
incidents. There have been many. There have been many. I mean, at every stage there were challenges, but there was nothing that specifically being a woman that I have done. Those are probably military operations related challenges that I have faced. But one such I have discussed is we would be asked to move for a detachment on a short notice, but I think we had already hacked those challenges, and there were no challenges as such. But yes, mission related challenges there were so many a times. So since the missions control was in our hands, we had to probably come back to our base with safe fuel, if you guys would understand. So when we fly, you have to cater for some fuel when you come back to your base air station. You should have certain fuel so that if there is some problem in that air station, you have to go to the diversionary airfield. Okay. So all those fuel calculations used to be with us, wherein you have to decide whether can you spend 5 more minutes to look for a submarine or a ship that you are looking for. Is that more important, or can you make it back to the base? Because some my aircraft was flying for so long, in one go we would fly to 2000 nautical miles in one distance. So we were so much away from our base that decisions at those points were so critical, and there was life at stake, and you had to take those decisions very quickly. So yes, challenges were there, many of them, uh, but they were all outcomes were definitely fulfilled. That's why I'm sitting here, and I'm sure everybody who's flown with me in the past acknowledges that. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Okay, that's all in the chat section. It's a real inspiration to hear all this, these challenges that you face. And as Ushaji and Jamila ji said, in our days, we used to think of, yes, medical engineering or in the administrative line or going for a graduation. But these days, children have got much more wider things. But yeah, it is. Ushaji, I think,
Yeah, if there
are
are
there
no
any
more
more?
questions.
Shikhaji,
Usha ji, tell her to
any
join
question?
AIWC. Seema ji, we will welcome you in All India Women's Conference.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I connect with Ushaji separately and to understand
Yes.
how can I contribute.
No, you can address the university students, and we are going to form youth club. So those two young people also you can guide. If you give this such a nice picture, I think so many girls would love to join forces.
Correct.
Yeah, Mrs. Tina Kakade, she is a patron, and right now she is in Pune. She
Oh,
lives in Bombay, but today she is attending from Pune. She has family base in Pune also. So I'll pass your contact details to her, and she can be in touch with you.
Definitely. I'm based out of Pune, but today I am in Mumbai for something. My
Okay, so
parents stay here in outskirts of Mumbai, so I keep visiting them. But yes, definitely, I'm based out of Pune. So if there's anything there to be done in person, I'll be happily available
and
for
Bombay
any.
also we have a very wide network of branches.
Okay,
Sheila
but I
Kakde
keep
was.
visiting to Mumbai. I keep visiting Mumbai. Yeah,
So we'll keep in touch with you, and we'll definitely want to use your experiences and expertise for advancing our work, which is basically for women empowerment and helping young women find the right careers, and
definitely, Shadi.
motivating them to take up challenging roles. So we'll
Yeah.
definitely be happy to have you with us. So if there are no
Ushaji,
more questions, can we? Yes,
Ushaji,
sir. Please, please.
Ushaji, one suggestion. One
Yes.
suggestion. Can we have one webinar uh, purely for this? Like the girl I told about. We can give the link and we can have 2 or 3 or 4 panelists, from different streams, and to talk to them or clear their doubts and all that. We can devote it to these children who are in the universities. We can
We
give the
can,
link to them.
yeah, that is what I was also discussing with you. We can connect with the career counseling cells in
Yes.
different colleges and get a
Yeah.
group of girls together, and then we can have this kind of a webinar where we invite experts like Seema and like Sushmita we had earlier. And then
Yeah.
they can tell them about the different careers and what are
Different
the
careers.
opportunities,
Yeah.
what are
Yeah.
the challenges. We'll
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
plan to do something like
Usha,
that.
Usha,
Yeah.
Usha, Usha, I have a suggestion. I was thinking perhaps, if we don't call too many and we just pick, say, 3 or 4 girls, like
Yes.
what
Okay.
Boneshri is saying, and we have a kind of video talk with them so that they also feel confident to talk out loud, like what their weaknesses are and how they would like to go forward. I think that way, instead of having smaller groups, we could have just say 2 or 3 or 4.
Yeah, we can
But
definitely do
yeah,
that. We can get, like-minded
yeah,
girls, 3 of them, and then some expert who is also in the same line
field.
or
Yeah,
the same interest.
yeah,
So we can definitely arrange Zoom calls for them
yeah.
so
Yeah.
they can
Like
That
discuss.
would be a
that.
good idea. Yeah,
We'll do that. We'll try to do that. Again, we'll have to do it through the career counseling
Career
cells of the
counseling.
different
Yes.
colleges.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we
That's
can do
right.
that.
Yeah.
So if that is all, shall we wind up the session?
Yeah. We don't have any more. Are there anyone who would like to talk now?
No,
I
I
don't
think now
think.
we can wind up. So, Seema, thank you so much for spending time with us and for that very interesting session. Actually, we all learned a lot from what you told us. And this session is not just for young people, it is for our own members so that they can go back to their branches and tell the young people. We have programs for young people, for adolescents. So our members can carry the message back to them and tell them how interesting a career could be in the Navy or in the Air Force. And these videos are available on YouTube. So whoever is interesting, we pass on the YouTube link, and they watch it, and then they get motivated. So you have made this possible through this very interesting talk. So thank you so much. I'll share our contact details with you of our Pune branches and also of Bombay branches. And Sheila Kakade, Sheila, I'll pass on her contact details to you. So you please.
Yeah, yeah,
Huh?
yeah. Yes, definitely, definitely.
Yes, we
It
can
was
make
really
use of
wonderful
all
listening
these.
to her, but I could not. Yeah,
Yes.
because of my throat, my
Uh-huh.
cough, I said better should not disturb.
So you can
You
keep
can
in
give
touch
my
with her
number to
also.
her.
Huh?
Yes,
So thank you so much,
yes, yes.
Seema. We'll be in
Thank
touch
you
with
so
you.
much, Shaji, for giving me this opportunity, and I'm really happy to get connected with all of you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
Yes.
you.
much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Yeah, now if anybody would like, now we can, who's there? Shikha is not there.
Huh? Seema has left.
Now, Seema has left, yes.
Yeah.
So we can extend this session a little bit if anybody is there, if anybody wants to talk. Kuljit, would you like to tell us what you want the members to do when you take over, what you want their ideas, or you want to share ideas?
Usha, actually, I mean, during the election time, I had requested the members to give me certain ideas what they want me to do
5 minutes. I will come.
if I am elected. So many members, they have sent me the
I'll
messages
come back in 5 minutes. Okay.
that what changes they want me to bring in the organization. I have jotted down all those points. Mainly, the demand is about the branches, about the financial help to the branches and managing the branches. So, if I would like to share, there are so many branches where there are hardly any members. Even during election, I could find out that one member branch is there. So, we have to revamp the branches to find out about the details and all. And then we have to again shuffle the programs where we need more financial help, the branches require. So all these things are immediately very important. So I will request the members that if you want to give some ideas, more ideas, those ideas will be welcome. I'm maintaining a diary in which I am including. Actually, certain members, they have sent me in writing also what all they want to be done, what the changes they want to be brought. But basic thing is because as you know, the bloodline of ARWC is only branches. If the branches are not able to perform, then where is AIWC? AIWC is nothing without branches. So immediate thing is that to talk about the branches, think about the branches, how we can help them to prosper, to take more programs and create such programs which can benefit the branches. These are the things I think immediately we would like to do. And otherwise also, whatever the members, they give me the ideas, we are going to implement that. That is the main thing. That is where from I want to start. But I would like to know about your ideas also, though we have been discussing it regularly. But still, if any new idea, because internationally also we have to show our place, our contribution, and nationally also we have to spread because now so many branches, though so many organizations, they are not aware about the existence of AIWC. Such a great branch, I mean organization. Almost we are going to complete a century. We have worked so much, but we are not able to share that whatever we have achieved or what we are doing now. So for that purpose, we have to change our attitude and come forward and spread what are our achievements and what are our future plans. At the moment, I would like to have the cooperation of all the members. They should support me, send me the ideas so that we can take the organization forward.
Yeah, one thing I feel, Kuljit, is that the communication between central office and branches has to be improved, because now branches face many problems in communicating with central office. Also, there has to be flexibility about the programs, because you cannot have just one defined format for all the branches, because across states, what works in Kerala may not work in Meghalaya or in Kashmir. So you
Very
have
right.
to have flexibility, and the programs, the guidelines that are given, they are the general guidelines. So within that, you must allow for some flexibility depending on the places where they do it, depending on the level of literacy, depending on the level of awareness. So I think these some small reforms will go a long way in improving communications between branches and central office. I think this is one thing that you have to take care of.
Thank you, Usha, for that. And the second thing which I have been receiving this, there is a language problem also. Now the branches in the states like Bihar, UP, Uttarakhand, Punjab, they're not very familiar with English. So they were wanting that we should try to introduce, for example, minutes we send. That is all in English. So that also, I mean, in Hindi also we'll have to do something so that the message reaches to the grassroots people that what we are planning to do and what we are doing. So that is the part in the communication. Second is when we send the report after conducting the program, that format is also very tough. So many branches, they don't take up this financial help from the center because they say that paperwork is so much we are not able to, because they don't have the trained people to help them. So all these things we have to take into consideration. and try to think over that how we can change this system and change the method which can be beneficial to all the branches and to all the members so that no one is left behind. That is what I'm thinking about.
Definitely. We are all with you, Gurjeet.
Thank you,
Whatever you plan, you please let us know in advance, and you let us know what you want us to do, and we'll definitely carry it forward.
Thank you so much, Usha. I know that you are always with me. It's only your support which has brought me over here.
So everybody
thanks.
has supported, and I mean, I'm happy that you have come to this position. As I mentioned, a good friend Kalyani, and then another good friend now. I remember that almost 25 years back, we were the gang of 4 in AIWC.
Yes.
Kalyani, Bulbul, and myself, we used to sit in the AIWC library and discuss programs and the constitution. We sat and studied, I think, word by word, line by line,
yes.
and it was really good. But it is
and
sad
discussed
that,
it also thoroughly. We discussed it thoroughly.
yes,
and somebody was telling
we-
me the other day that when 4 of you used to enter in the conference, we knew that the gang has come. And we used to be so
I
alert.
remember all that as an observer.
Yes. No, and I only feel sad that Bulbul is no longer with us.
It is, yes.
And she was the senior among
Yes.
us in AWC, and we
Yes,
learned
yes.
a lot from her.
Yes,
and,
very right, very
she
right.
was such
When
a
I-
lovable friend. We miss
When
her.
when I joined AIWC, she was the first one to welcome me, and she guided me so well and introduced me to all the organization. I used to go with her to this Iowa also and to other places, to Razia's place. So we sent that condolence messages to her daughter, and her daughter has also responded. I wrote in that Usha Nair, a very senior member from Kerala, she has sent these words. So she responded and she said, "We are really grateful for the nice word you have spoken about our mother." I got that reply also from the daughter. I'll send you the whole detail which I had sent and the reply which I received from her daughter. I'll forward that.
Yes, please do.
It was so sweet of you. You wrote it so well. So word by word, I sent it to her daughter. So
now let us bring back those days when all of us could sit together, discuss and finalize things, learn things. There is a lot to learn from AIWC, from the history of AIWC. Let us bring back the atmosphere and start working sincerely towards the centenary year.
Sure, Usha. Sure, Usha. If
I
all
thank
of us,
all of you for joining this session. It was interesting, and especially Seema has really given us some very good ideas and information. She opened our eyes, in fact. We didn't know that the career in the Navy could be like this. So I'm happy that we could get her, and I thank all of you for joining us. And next month, we'll have another session. We'll be inviting somebody from a different career. And we'll also continue the literary and cultural forum sessions that this month we could not have, but next month we'll definitely come back with that session. And if any of you have ideas about holding sessions which is not in line with our sessions, but anything else also we can have. And Kuljit, even from head office, if you want to make use of our platform, it is always available. We have the Zoom platform, and with unlimited usage, so we can use that. So please let us know. And special thanks to you, Sheila. You have just come back from Delhi and you found time to join. Thank you so much. Meenaji had also joined, but she had to leave. It was her message that you read, Bhuvneshwari, that TGIT. That was Meenaji's message. So thank you, and see you all in the.
Thank you so much, Usha, for arranging all these programs. And my special thanks to Sheila ji also. She conducted the elections so well in such a methodical manner. So my thanks from the core of my heart. Everything went off very well because of her.
Thank you, and see you at the next session. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Kuljiti, once again, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
We were the first to congratulate you, but again, before closing, once more.
And all the best, Kuljit. All the best.
Thank you so much, Usha.
All the best.
I need the cooperation of everyone because alone I won't be able to do anything. It is just
This
that
is
I've
the
been
work.
given the responsibility, but the work has to be done jointly.
Yeah,
All
we
Yes,
will all be there.
definitely.
together and
All
do
all
very
with
good
you.
work. Yes.
We'll
Yeah, we
form
will
a
all be there.
committee.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Thank you so
we
much.
can do.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks
And